Welcome back to Better Than Bounce. My name's Dobby and this is Dos, and we're getting to halfway through the season now. You tried your line in the sand trick last round, but did it work for you? How'd it go? How's the team feeling?
Didn't go too well. I got the Bombers plus 44.5 was alright. I thought that wasn't going to be okay, but they found a second win there.
Yeah, actually impressive for how many outs they had.
The Suns losing at home, didn't expect that. I thought they were going to be comfortable winners at home against the Dockers.
You'd think the wet would actually suit them, given that they play in the heat all the time and slippery conditions. And
it's been raining here in Queensland for the best part of the last month.
Yeah, exactly.
Giants were another one. They just came back. I thought they were going to... They were down and out, really.
Yeah, they were down by 32, 38, something ridiculous.
Crows minus 5.5. They win by 93.
90. They won by 90, which is ridiculous.
90, yeah. Another one, the D's. Yeah.
Didn't win
in Alice Springs.
Mm.
And then the Eagles and Cats probably came in thanks to Jeremy Cameron's last quarter.
Yep, 100%. So only the three.
Yeah.
Of what, the seven?
Was it 6?
Seven,
yeah.
Yeah. But Steph, I feel like I got unlucky. I made $38, but I still feel like I was a bit unlucky. Will Ashcroft overs came in easy. I think he had 32, 30 or something like that. Long 20 pies win. Pies won easy. Long had 22, something like that. O'Halloran and Green. This one was very lucky. O'Halloran had 19. It was looking bad at halftime, but he had a really good third quarter. Green was on 20 at three-quarter time. He had 10 in the last quarter on the nose, had it with 45 seconds left. I was cheering to see that one go through. Suns win, Leo Lombard 2+. He only kicked the one and got subbed out. Bit stiff.
Good debut from him, though.
Yeah, not bad. Can't really complain about that. I thought the bet was still not too bad. $10 odds for that, wasn't far off. But Suns didn't get the win anyway. Rankin 2+, didn't hit. He loves handing them off too much. Rochelle hit his, as he always does for me. I'm not sure you saw with the Sharp one. With Harry Sharp, I got him at $3.90.
Yeah.
He started the game at $1.45.
Yeah, okay.
He shortened a shitload. I don't know why. Maybe one of the coaches said, maybe Simon Goodwin said something. I'm not sure, but he was $3.90. Didn't hit anyway. Didn't matter.
I wonder if he was planned as the sub.
Oh, and that's why he was $3.90?
Yeah.
Maybe they said something like that. That's why he was $3.90. But going with $3.90 short to $1.44, I was basically counting my money, but then it didn't matter. Myers 20+ and Atkins 15+ that got there. Atkins got 15+ on the nose. He was on 13 at three-quarter time and got 2 in the last quarter. And he got the 15th one with a minute left. Just pissed me off. I only fell short on Langdon on my mega multi. Fuming. But punters perks. You thought you had a bad week. Didn't hit a trick. Couldn't get a bet. Was close on Cameron 6+ at 7.20. Would have saved for the week. But nothing else there was really doing too much. The rest of the bets didn't look too great. I think maybe the Crows one was actually close, but I think Rankin and goal actually cost him. So that was $15 odds. So close on big ones. Swung big, but just didn't get there. But 13th round, how do you feel about your bets this week? How's the vibe off the line in the sand? Didn't work, but...
No, it didn't work. I've gone bigger odds this week.
Oh, bigger odds?
Yeah.
If you're gonna hit winners...
I figured if I'm going to hit, I'm going to hit big.
Yeah.
They're not huge odds, but they're bigger than last week's.
Yeah. All right, well... Me this week, this is probably honestly the least confident I felt all year. I thought the buys, there's less games, I'll feel a bit better, but there's only one less game this round. Yeah. But I don't know, I'm fucking not really that confident in my bets this week, but I'll figure it out as I go. First game of the round, do you want to get us into it?
Yeah, we've got Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn on Thursday night. Bulldogs are $1.43, Hawks are $2.84. Line's 14.5. Should be more than that.
Should be more than that?
Yeah.
After what you saw?
After what I saw.
I walked into your room when I got here and you said your Hawk scarf up. I thought it would mean fuel for the fire. I was surprised. How do you feel about the Hawks 3 losses in a row?
I could stomach the one against Gold Coast because it was in Darwin and it was pretty close.
What about the Brisbane one?
Brisbane one just didn't look like playing, and the Collingwood one didn't look like playing. We were winning hitouts and centre clearances, but that was it.
And
I think we scored fucking conceded like 10 or 11 goals off turnover against Collingwood.
And the least tackles you've had in like something ridiculous like in your history. So are you off the boys? What's the bet?
I've gone Dale 25, Ward, Bont, and Amon for 20, and then Weddle for 15 for $4.20.
Yep.
I think Dale should get that pretty easily.
Dale could have one of the games where he goes massive again.
I thought Ward's been pretty good the last few weeks, averaging 21 for the season, but since Cam Mackenzie's been out of form after that hand injury, he's come into that midfield role and played really well.
Yep.
Probably been one of our better players.
Yep.
And then Bont, Amon as well, and then Weddle should hopefully get 15.
Yeah, I think Bont and Amon, it's just like you hit them for 20 every week. They probably just get it. Like they just probably just find a way. Nice. With this one, so Trelaw's a iffy one. They look like
I think he's
a
probable.
Yeah, probable. Yeah. I've gone. There's one of two bets. So the first bet's either Dogs win and Trelaw 25+. If Trelaw's in, I just don't see how the Dogs don't win. I know he's not that much of a difference, but it was Sicily out and then Trelaw in. Like that change. Like having an extra inside mid. Like I just think they're going to dominate inside mid areas. Like I don't know how they're going to stop the inside mids of like even Dacos didn't look that dominant as an inside mid, and he had 32, and then Ned Long had 22, and I don't know, Hawks allow too much inside mid. So if Trelaw's in 25+, but if he's not in, I'm just going to take Richards and Libba as just the inside bulls, the two of them. Both those bets are both of them 24+. Both those bets are $2.10. So either way, I'm taking Dogs win Trelaw 25+, or Richards and Libba 24+ each. Either way, it's $2.10. And the guest for this week, a lot of you may have seen on your feeds the man that puts $100 on every underdog every game. He's actually up like $980.
Yeah, okay.
For the season because he had
he would have been cheering with Richmond.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is with Richmond, he got an early payout.
Yeah, okay.
Because they lead by 32 or more, you get paid out at Bet365.
Yeah, okay.
And he bets all his bets on Bet365, got paid out. So he's up $985. And also, imagine the first game of the year. Been on them against Carlton, $10 odds or something. Oh, anyway, BaiweTV, Mitch from BaiweTV. He is our guest punter for the round, so I asked him to step out of his bubble of hitting underdogs, and place a few multis for us and a mega multi. And he's sent them through to us, and then don't look too bad. So his first one here is Trelaw 25+, again probable to play.
Yeah.
Chol goal and Norton goal. Wow, I'm not sure I could trust either of those two blokes. But I don't mind. $2.37. So next game we have here is Adelaide Crows versus Brisbane Lions. The Crows are $1.60 and the Lions are $2.34. The Lions 8.5. With this one, I'm pretty confident. Like Lions, if you think about it, their last 4 weeks they've had a draw, a loss to the Demons, a good win against the Hawks, and a pretty average performance against Essendon. Like that wasn't good. That's a really bad injured Essendon side. So they haven't played a lot of good games. So I'm not very confident in the Lions here. I guess that's why Adelaide are $1.60. But I've stepped away from the head-to-head. I've just gone under 165.5. The line at $1.90. I just don't see this game scoring a lot of goals. Like in the last 5 rounds, Adelaide are number 1 for not allowing goals, and Brisbane are number 2 for not allowing goals. So they're both I think in the last 5 rounds, Adelaide average allowing 5 goals, and Brisbane allowing 10. Whoa, that was a tongue twister. But 18 goals in a game is piss all. So I just don't think there'll be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be too competitive. I think it's going to be too much contested footy, ball up. Like, if you have a lot of inside mids getting disposals or contested possessions, you're probably going to go well, but I just don't see it going over 165.5. I just think Lions have gone more defensive, and the Crows have always just played a bit of defensive bounce off them, score a lot of goals, but I just don't think it'll work the Lions as much. Low-scoring game. What about you?
I've gone Will Ashcroft for 25. I think he's been in good form. Recently. I think he's averaging 27 for the year.
Yeah.
Dawson and Dunkley for 20 and Peatling for 15 for $2.50. I don't know, they rotate their midfield a lot. Adelaide?
Dawson's probably the one in there the most. Sligo's definitely on the most. Frankie's on there the most.
Peatling for 15.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go for 20, but I feel like if they're rotating Rankin, Sligo, Berry now through there as well, so drops off. But Dawson's there a lot.
Yeah, and Peatling's there a fair bit. Peatling's been really good the last, 6.
Yeah.
6, probably 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, he's been really good.
And then Dunkley is always around it, and that's $2.50 odds for that one.
Yeah.
BaiweTV.
BaiweTV.
He's gone, Dawson for 20, Zorko 25, Cameron Goal and Fogarty for 2 for $4 odds. It's not a bad bet, that one.
Yeah, I didn't mind that, looking at the halfbacks to get a lot of zing off the halfback, but I think there's going to be a lot of disposals. This will probably be a really good game for multis, but just don't put many goal scorers in. That's what I think. What's the next game we got there?
Next game, we move on to Richmond and Sydney Swans. Swans are $1.46 favourites. Richmond $2.75. The line is 13.5.
Interesting one. It's probably
this is one that the Tigers could win.
If they play like they did last week, they win.
Yeah, they win easily.
And that was at NG or whatever that was. Manuka Oval, whatever it was, but that was away.
And Swans obviously injury riddled, not in good form,
and just lost by 90.
Yeah,
Grundy was the only bloke who was and maybe a little bit of Warner, but Grundy was the only good player out there.
I don't know they're obviously missing Logan McDonald for another 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's insane.
Callum Mills is back from suspension this week. I feel like they have to throw him probably back into more of that inside mid role because they're getting dominated around there. And
I think Taranto and Prestia and Hopper could actually smash them in the midfield.
Taranto's having an underrated year, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. He's kicked. He's well. I actually looked at it during the week. This is interesting that he in the first half of the games he averages in the last 4 weeks he averages 15 disposals. In the second half he averages 8.
I think they were saying it was his highest rated season. At Richmond, I think.
Yeah, well, he's kicking a shitload of goals.
Yeah,
and also he's just his first half is unreal. I have him in Supercoach, it's pissing me off. His first half's unreal, and his second half he's doing nothing, but he's still playing pretty good footy. Yeah. What have you gone with?
I've got Taranto for 25, Hopper, Warner and Heaney for 20, and then Mills for 15 for $3.50.
I don't mind that. I do think Mills has to go in there, but I feel like I'm just worried about Warner or Heaney having to... if they put Warner forward again or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that should be the midfield trio. Warner, Heaney, Mills for them. And then probably Rowbottom coming off the bench. James Jordan's sort of being pushed out of that team unless he's playing a tagging role.
Which they're not going to tag someone at Tigers or anything unless it was Hopper, maybe. But I wouldn't waste your time probably. Just try to actually win the game. If they lose this game... They literally could sack Cox before he finishes the season. This would be awful for them.
What have you gone there?
I've gone Taranto goal. I saw $3 at Bet365 for him to kick a goal. He's $1.70 at other places. He's kicked 4 goals in the last 2 games. He keeps pushing forward hard. Hopper and now Prestia are kind of doing that midfield hard work, and he's just kind of that guy, just kind of slides forward, kind of like a.
He was
Tuke
doing
Miller.
that at GWS a lot as well.
Exactly, kind of like a Tuke Miller. And now that they're playing good footy, they're not winning games, but they're playing good footy and they're scoring a lot of goals, that he can kind of push forward and not have to just sit defensively so much. So very similar to Tuke Miller, where he plays that midfield time, then he kind of just slips forward a bit, or he
rests forward. Yeah,
and he hits contested possessions a lot when they have the ball ups in forward 50. I'm not sure you see, a lot of his goals are kind of from head-high free kicks or it's just getting held or something like that. So $3 for a goal, I think, against the Swans, he's kicked 4 in the last 2 weeks. I think that's value. When we look at Mitch, here has Seth Campbell 2+, Hayward 2+. That's $3.60. I honestly couldn't tell you too much about that bet, but I'm not too sure. Apparently, everyone's getting around Seth Campbell.
Yeah,
everyone's getting around him. That's all I know about that bet. Next game we have here is Geelong versus the Gold Coast Suns. The Geelong are $1.39 since they're at home, and the Suns are $3.02. The line for that one is 17.5. With that, I have gone... I don't actually have any stats for this besides I put it into a multi and it sounded like good odds. I have Rioli 20+ coming off halfback and Rao 20+. $2.20. That's all I have to say about that bet. It just sounds like good odds. I thought it would be $1.70 type of thing, $1.60, but $2.20, I'll take that. What have you got?
I've gone Smith and Anderson for 30, and then Noble and Miller for 20 for $4.75. Smith's had 30 plus in his last 5 games.
Yeah, wow.
Anderson's had 30 plus in his last 3 games.
There you go. Well, yeah, he had 39.
Had 39.
And Smith had 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So they've both been in good form. Smith's probably Brownlow favourite at halfway mark.
Has to be.
And then, Noble's been very consistent off halfback, and Miller averaging 26 disposals. So I feel like $4.75 for that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I rate that highly. The only thing I'm scared of is because you've bet on Noble. I feel like it's either Noble or Rioli. One of them goes off, so I think one of us is probably cooked. The other one isn't. I haven't really looked into who I would be better out of the two in that game, so it could be me. What's Mitch from BaiweTV got?
He's gone Suns plus 31.5, Rao for 20, and Tom Stewart for 15 for $2.05 on Bet365.
Not awful.
No, he's covering the Suns there a lot.
I think the Rao. Yeah. What the Rao was like $1.30 or $1.40 or something for Rao 20 plus. Yeah, fair enough. What's the next game?
Next one, GWS versus Port Adelaide. GWS are $1.30 favourites. Port are $3.57. The line's 21.5.
Why'd you go?
I don't know. I just I didn't. The line was a bit weird.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be that.
Do you think it should be like a bigger line or a smaller line?
Smaller one, I reckon.
You think Port? Yeah, Port.
They're coming off the bye.
And Lukosius should be.
I think he had a setback. I was reading earlier.
I know Kane Farrell.
Yeah,
will be back. They had a few that I remember looking like they had a few set to come back. I thought Lukosius was one of them. Maybe does have a setback. What have you gone?
I've just gone Green, Ash, Butters, and Rosie for 25. $3.40.
The old bread and butter. Fair enough. They're good players.
Yeah, Green's had 25 last 2 weeks. Probably expect him to. I don't know if he'll get tagged. Might be Bergman or Willem Drew going to him.
Probably Willem Drew actually probably does go to him.
Francis still out. I'm not actually too ssure, but I don't think Ash has had under 25 all year.
I don't think he has. I think the one time he got 25 is that remember when I bet on him for 25
at
$1.75?
And he just got there.
He just got there?
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's had like 30 plus. So I don't think he's had less than 25 this year.
But yeah, that's getting me $3.40 odds. What do you got?
I have actually gone. We can both get there. Like we said, have you 25?
Yeah.
Rosie under 27.5.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard for people coming off halfback against the Giants to get a lot of disposals. 28's a lot of disposals, like 30 areas. I think just under 27.5. I wouldn't be surprised he gets like 23, 24 this game. It's still going to be a good game for a halfback. But yeah, he's only had like 28 or more and then like 3 or 4 times this season. And then Green 30 plus. This game lines up perfectly. If he doesn't get tagged, even if he does get tagged, he literally just finds a way. But this game, if he does not get tagged, I can guarantee he gets 30 plus. Like this game lines up perfectly for him to get 30 plus. I think his last few games against him, he's absolutely dominated like 30, 36 areas. So I got $3.25 for that. Rosie under 27.5, Green 30 plus. Mitch from BaiweTV has gone Hogan 3 plus, Bergman 15 plus, and Kelly 20 plus for $2.61. Again, like before, the only real stress there, I guess, is Bergman. Oh no, he should still get 15 even with Farrell there. I mean, yeah, he should be fine. Hogan 3 plus. Who's on him? Leah?
Yeah, or Radigalia.
Yeah. Well, I don't see too much issues there. And the next game we have is North Melbourne versus West Coast. North Melbourne $1.59 and West Coast $2.37. I think West Coast are way too short for playing away. Like they've been really good at home. They were really good against the Cats at home. They were really good against the Saints. They beat the Saints. They were good. Like they've been playing good at home, but then as soon as they travel, they're not good.
Yeah.
Besides the Lions game at the Gabba, but $1.59 for North doesn't actually sound too bad. What I've gone with, I mentioned this weeks ago. I said when Nick Larkey lines up against Sandy Brock and Harry Houville-Edwards that he will kick a bag. I have him to kick 5 goals. I think he's kicked like 7 or 8 against them before. I'm fairly certain of that. 5 plus at $11 odds. There is no way it's a 1 in 11 chance he kicks 5. Not at home against two rookie, very young, tall defenders. $11 odds. That's all I have to say. Nick Larkey can kick him straight. He takes 5 marks. He kicks 5 goals. $11 odds. We all go home happy. What have you got?
I've gone LDU and Sheasel for 25, and then Reed, Kelly, and Elijah Hewitt for 15.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
Reed. I don't mind Reed at home. I'm not sure I can copy him when he plays away.
He's in better form, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like something changed when they played the Cats. Like they just
like they figured it out.
No, not that they figured it out. Like sort of figured it out. They were playing together, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got forward and kicked a couple goals as well. Hewitt got forward a bit. Kelly, I'm pretty sure they were playing Kelly as a forward at points during that game.
Yeah.
But he was still doing all right in the midfield. So I've got $5.75 odds for that.
Yeah, with Sheezer going in the midfield more.
Yeah.
Can't hate it.
By
the way, I just looked. Larky last year kicked 5 against them. The year before kicked 6 against them, and he had games that also in there that was like he kicked 2 goals. So he's at least once each season. The last 2 seasons he's done that. So what's Mitch got for us?
He's gone Kangas to win, LDU 25, Hewitt for 15, and Graham for 15.
So he's got 2 of your legs there.
Yeah, and that's $4.09 with Neds.
Well, we like the Kangas dub. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
At Kangas. LDU you have, Hewitt you have, and Graham 15 plus. Graham would have gotten 15. I know he's only getting like 18. We said he's averaging, but he would have got 15 plus nearly every game, surely.
It'd be around that, yeah, I think so. Next game we have is Carlton and Essendon.
How are Carlton that short?
Yeah, Carlton $1.44, Essendon $2.80. The line is 14.5. I've gone Merritt, Martin, and Walsh for 25 for $3.30. I feel like there's no one there to really tag anyone, sort of.
No, I don't think anyone's tagging. Setterfield's not I guess Setterfield doesn't. Does he even tag anymore?
I'm not too sure, but
don't watch many Essendon games. Don't waste my time.
Yeah, so expect Merritt to do what he does, and Walsh as well, and then Martin obviously just loves
uncontested footy.
Free footy.
Yep.
So that's $3.30. I'm not sure if Parrish will be back in yet, but that would probably be a pretty big inclusion for them, especially they've been lacking it.
Especially the contested ball.
Yeah. Clearances and contested footy.
Because when Merritt gets tagged, it's really struggling to get uncontested footy. Like he has to really fight to get 20 disposals.
Yeah.
So he'd be such a helping hand for Merritt. $3.30.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. I actually wanted to step away from the disposals in this game. I was really worried about hitting anyone, so I actually went Cripps under 27.5. I don't think he gets 27.5 in this game. I just don't see it happening. And then I've gone Merritt under 29.5. He's been struggling to get a lot of disposals, like I just said, but I don't think this is a bad lineup for him. I just think the line of 29.5, 30 disposals is not easy to get. Last time they played each other last year, no one got 30. Martin had the most at 28.
Yeah, okay.
No one got 30. Cripps had 18. Merritt had 24 or something. So again, he can get those numbers for your bet, but I just don't think he's getting 30. And I don't think Cripps is getting 28. So that's $3.40 for that. And Mitch has Mackay 3+, and Walsh 25+. $4.34. Who's going to be on Mackay? Not his brother. They're not playing against each other again.
It won't be Zach Reed either. I think he's still out.
Ridley is out.
Ridley's out.
So who's down there? Who's actually down there? Redmond's down there, but he's too small.
Redmond and McGrath are down there.
Who's their fullback?
Didn't he do his knee?
Who?
The other fullback?
On the weekend?
Someone got injured.
I'm going to look at their lineup from last week, and I want to see who they had down as fullback. They had Laverde.
Yeah, okay.
So Laverde's on Curnow, and oh my god, who goes on one of the big guys? I have no idea. One of the big guys is going to kick a bag. Because I'll read it out for what they had on the weekend. McGrath, Laverde, Roberts, Gresham, Redmond, Pryor. So they don't really have... They have one tall back. in the whole team. I think they literally have... Oh, and they got Zach Johnson, but he's 186 centimetres and he's 18 years old. So he's what? He's 6'1". He's not going to anyone. I have no idea who's going to go on. So that's actually not a bad shout. Mackay 3+, then Walsh 25+. That's $4.34. So the last game of the round here is King's Birthday, which is what it's called now. And Collingwood are $1.26 and Melbourne are $3.90. The line is 23.5, which kind of seems like a big line. I don't know if you can trust teams to... Collingwood to thump teams all the time, besides, I guess the weekend. So that was a bit of a thumping, I guess. My hot takes, like calling Hawks frauds, was kind of a good take.
Yeah.
He's going to take it.
I am.
Good boy.
No, fucking cut that out. That's not going in the video.
That's going.
I'm not getting good boy on fucking TV,
Here you go. Now
bro.
he's fired up. I have gone Nick Dacos 35+ at $5.10. I think if they don't tag him or they do the classic, we're just going to put Clayton Oliver on someone and call it a tag, then he will get 35 disposals. He had 38 or 40 last time he played them. The one before that, he had maybe 25 or something. But if he doesn't get tagged and they do the classic, we're going to do it. We're not going to tag him. We're going to be more of a team thing, like what Fagan did. then they're gonna fight. He's gonna rack it up. But I've double dipped this game because what scared me was Nick Dacos had a video up today where he was like, "Oh, I'm with Isaac Quainer here and I'm practicing my contested marks and stuff." He takes one, he's got a taste for it all of a sudden. But he's like, I might go down forward when I get tagged and stuff. So this is just like a way out. I've gone him to kick 2 goals again at 5.75. The odds are getting bigger, but that's probably because it's not hitting the last few weeks. So if he gets tagged, he should go forward and hopefully he kicks 2. If he doesn't get tagged, I think he easily gets 35+. So Nick Dacos for 2+, 5.75. Him to get 35+, 5.10. I've double dipped and I've gone, he gets tagged or he doesn't, I've got a sniff. What have you got?
I've gone Dacos and Track for 25 and Oliver and Langdon for 20 for $3.75.
Yep.
They don't really tag. Melbourne don't really tag. If they do, it's as you said, Oliver going somewhere. But Jack Viney's out, who was someone who would run with.
Yeah, players. Now they got Oliver doing it.
Petrarca's been in good form. It's the same fixture where he had that bad injury last year, the lacerated spleen.
That's right. Oh no, this is a PTSD game.
Yeah, so I'm expecting him to have a big day out. Langdon was quiet on the weekend. I think he had 13 disposals. But
13 fucked my mega multi.
Yeah, his form previously has been pretty good. So I'm going to trust him in for 20 again. Then Oliver.
He had 16.
16.
Oh, yeah. No, Oliver had 16.
Oliver had 16, yeah.
But again, I think the Saints kind of locked him up.
Yeah.
Saints were very good. I don't know what they did, but they locked him up very well. I know the Pies, they don't allow anyone to have big 30+s, but they, a lot of players on the other team have 20 to 27 all the time. They don't really give a fuck. They just play their own brand of footy. They're not going to tag anyone. Pies never tag.
No.
Melbourne, they just do the classic, Clayton Oliver will be with him at the ball up and the throw-ins. But, yeah, I think this will be disposals galore, this game.
Yeah.
I think there'll be disposals, absolutely. One for the multis. And what's BaiweTV got for this one?
He's gone Pendles for 20, Bowie for 20, and Oliver for 20 on Bet365 for $2.30.
Rate that.
Yeah.
I think there'll be disposals everywhere. Bowie probably gets there. He has on and off games, but should be right. What's your mega multi for this one?
My mega multi is big. Not odd-wise, but it's $13, but I've gone Richards, McCluggage, Zorko, Roberts, Holmes, Butters, Rosie, LDU, Daniel, Baker, all for 20. Mm-hmm. And then Ward, Rankin, Worrell, Mills, Rioli, Stewart, Duggan, Marich, Salem, and Houston for 15 disposals for 13-13.
Hope you got some value with Houston. I'm not sure how often he's been hitting that. Any on Thursday? Any danger ones on Thursday? You got
Richards and Ward.
Richards and Ward on Thursday, and then who have you got on Friday?
Friday?
McCluggage, Zorko, Rankin, and Worrell. Oh, you got to get through a lot of legs before we get to the weekend. If we can get to the weekend, get on the rest of the legs because they're absolute locks. Absolute locks.
The weekend warrior.
You're massive. You don't miss on the weekend. And we've been telling you, just do the weekend and you don't listen. I've gone Larky 4+. I hit him for 5+ earlier, but I've hit him 4+ here. If he just, I don't know, kicks 4-2 or something and pisses me off, I want to be alive in the Mega Multi. And then Dacos 30+. I just think if he doesn't get tagged, he gets 30 so easy. He didn't get tagged on the weekend. Didn't even look like outstanding. He was good and did a lot of good things, but he said 32 or something like 34 and just made it look easy. So when he doesn't get tagged or gets paid attention to, he'll just dominate. Nick Dacos 30+, Likey 4+. That's $10.35. Mitch from BaiweTV has gone Norton goal. I think that's a bit of a worry. Dawson goal.
Yeah.
Yes, he does push forward again, but I'm worried about the Lions. Crows not being too high scoring, but Dawson loves the snag. Suns plus 31.5, Rao 20+, Graham 15+, LDU 25+, Pendles 20+, and Oliver 20+ for $7.05. That's his Mega Multi for this one. Any hot takes, Dos, before you take us out?
No.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if Demons beat the Pies.
That actually, that's I'm
being the King's birthday fixture.
It's actually underrated because it's very good every year.
Mm.
I'm saying I'm not shocked. I'll be tipping Tigers against Swans. I'll be tipping Tigers. Just to, try to get one that's against the grain and hopefully get a few right.
And I feel like if Eagles show up like they did against the Cats, they have a chance of beating Kangaroos.
I'm not sure they can.
The only reason Rucks dominate against the Eagles.
Yeah, oh my God, Cherry's going to Tristan Cherry's going to be licking his lips against Matt Flynn or Bailey Williams.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, should have taken him for 30 and a goal.
We've seen Max Gorn do it. We've seen Lloyd Meek do it. We've seen
Grundy. Oh no.
Rowan Marshall most recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Rowan Marshall dated him. I just want to see what he is for 25 disposals, because what happens is he just gets around the field and just gets like a shitload of disposals. So for 25, he's 470. Might be one for your mug punts, but yeah, like that 25 he had there. I wonder who that was against. But
that might have been Richmond.
Well, here we go. It was against Goldstein.
Oh.
There you go. I wouldn't say they're much better than Goldstein. Probably similar numbers. But yeah, $1.90 for 20. He's had his last 5 games has been 23, 25, 19, 19, 17. So he could be a sniff. And the last 3 games have been against Darcy Cameron, Nan Curvis, and McInerney. So these are easier opponents. Bro, $1.90 should be one. Check on the Mega Multi. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. Hopefully we've found you a few winners this week. Keep your eyes on our Instagram to see all of our bets up there, and follow along with the week. And if you get any winners following along with our bets, let us know, and we'll see you all next week. See ya.